Well, here we are, my MMAnews.com, Breakfast with Brady #2. Patrick the Brick Brady, and listen, before we get into all of it, let me say, congratulations and how proud I am of this guy. I mean, I was there for his amateur debut and the career path that you're at now.
Yeah.
Signed with PFL, he's competing in Season 2 heavyweight tournament. Pat, man, first, before we get to all the business and all that, man, how you feeling? You worked so hard to get to this point. It's got to be a great feeling, getting close.
Yeah, it feels good, man. It feels good to fight at a high level against high-level opponents. Not that any of my past opponents weren't worthy opponents, but the PFL's another level, man. And to kind of see it all come to fruition, and from where I started and where I'm at now, I don't know that I could have imagined it really was going to happen, because I didn't really plan on it going this way. I kind of just picked this up as a hobby for some fun, and I'm fighting in Vegas on ESPN Plus in 2 weeks, man. So it's like, it's pretty cool. It's been cool.
Well, listen, when I sit back, I've been in the business for about 16 or 17 years, and I have to say that the Patrick Brady story, the journey that you've taken, I mean, it has to be right at the top of one of my favorites. I mean, most of the fighters that come into the sport are from high school. They're younger. You got in later in life.
Yeah, wrestling.
What I mean? Your body wasn't as beat up because you hadn't been through as many wars as a lot of these younger guys have. So that's a plus for you, even though you're older.
Yeah.
But the journey just to get where you're at, being a father, being a business owner, getting married, and being a husband the whole time. During your fighting career and having that sport and doing it all, and like you said, just finding time to train.
Yeah.
And let's talk about training. Let's talk about some of the guys who don't get all the headlines. Some of the guys like Ryan Appleby, like Big John. Some of the guys that are giving you their time to help you get there.
Guys like Mike Kennedy, who's a great southpaw from Martinez BJJ. Guys like John Mercurio, who's a fantastic boxer, who's helped me tremendously, who's cornered me, and you obviously you always hear the Dawkins brothers and the Petrowskis and the Pfeiffers and those guys who have been there with me from the beginning. But a lot of the other guys kind of fly under the radar, and they're just as important as anybody else, because those are the hell rounds. They're hell rounds. And these guys like Mike Kennedy's tough, man. He's the Art of War heavyweight amateur champion, and he gives me hell in there. Like I said, I already mentioned John Mercurio, his boxing and his stand-up. His technique is, he was a 6-0 pro boxer, so it's a lot of fun, man.
Now listen, you're heading out to Vegas. I mean, listen, this is crazy the way this has happened, because you and I talked through this whole thing, and you were really patient. You were waiting. You were waiting. You had other opportunities that you could have taken before this, but you were smart. We talked about you being, the adult in the room and having some patience in this situation and waiting it out. And you got the opportunity. You didn't have to fight to get into the tournament. You're in the tournament, which is amazing. And you're 5-0, Pat, and they're giving you, Mikhail Andrzejczyk, who is 25-10, 35 fights. I mean, so you're talking about 5 fights versus 35 fights. Just looking at it on the outside, he has a lot of first round finishes, but he's been finishing the first round a lot. And listen, in 35 fights, the guy's going the distance one time. How do you go to the distance only one time in 35 fights? You've had 5 fights and you've gone 15 minutes twice. So,
I mean, look, my opponent has a lot of experience, right? But he doesn't. I've seen footage on him. I don't think there's a lot of footage of me out there. I'm the hungry dog in this situation, right? I'm the underdog. Like I'm only 5-0. I have the least amount of experience in the PFL tournament, and the next guy above me has, I think it's like 13 fights. So not only am I the least experienced, I'm the oldest. So I'm the underdog, and that makes me the scariest person. You know what I mean? The underdog to me is the scariest. I have nothing to lose, Bobby. Like, I'm not supposed to win. So I'm going out there with all intentions of leaving it all in the cage, because I'm technically I'm not really supposed to be there anyway. I mean, if like we had talked about patience, they had reached out to me about a Challenger Series fight, and I declined it. It's just it wasn't for me. Like I don't want a chance at a shot. I want a shot. You know, that was my position. The Challenger Series is great, and it has its benefits for guys who are trying to get into the position that I'm in now, right? But it just wasn't for me. I want the real chance. You know, I want the real shot in the tournament. There's only 10 of us in the tournament, and there were multiple fights to get spots within those 10 guys, and I was lucky enough to grab them.
Listen, 10 guys, 10-man tournament.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about, PFL. How have they been dealing with so far? Because look, you and I, listen, of all the fighters that I've been in the cage with you and interviewed you after a victory probably more than anybody in my career. Probably, I think Andre Petrosky and maybe Garbarino are close, but we've been in there 8 or 9 times. Some epic moments after your victories. Now, unfortunately, listen, I'm sad that I'm not going to do that anymore, but listen, you ain't going to find a happier person in the room than I am for you because of, listen, I want your success. You know what I mean? So tell me, how has it been dealing with them who are, listen, PFL, I mean, they're next level. They pay a lot of money for the tournament. PFL have a lot of good fighters in PFL. I mean, we've seen, they just signed.
It's a big prize, man. It's a $1 million prize if you win this tournament. From what I've seen, it's 4 fights every 6 weeks. The first leg is for the heavyweights is April 7th in Las Vegas at the Virgin Theater Hotel. Friday night, which is on ESPN, plus the prelims, and then ESPN 2 for the main card. So the PFL has been great. They've been great to me, but and if I'm just being honest, I haven't really had to deal with them. I have my Iridium Sports Agency that does really all of the talking for me, and they've been handling, as mediaries between me and the PFL. I get a couple emails here and there with some itineraries and stuff like that. But there's been no problems. It hasn't been problematic. My medicals are all done and taken care of. Everything's all squared away and we're ready to fight.
Well, listen, another way this fight is different is you're not local. You don't have to sell tickets. Has that been nice not to deal with that? You
selling
no
tickets
stress?
is a grind, man. It's a grind. I don't like giving promoters a hard time because their job is tough too, but there is a lot of work that goes into selling tickets as a regional fighter. You're dealing with people all day long, and it's a grind, man. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining or anything because it's a privilege, right? But it's still a grind, man.
It's work. It's answering your phone. It's text. It's counting money. Hey, listen, I've ran football pools and stuff like that. I mean, when you have to deal with money, it's stressful. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to sell a lot of tickets, and my fans have been great, and my friends and supporters, they've all come out in full support to my fights.
Well, all you fans like me, you'll be watching Friday, April 7th. You said this is on ESPN Plus?
Yeah.
ESPN Plus, PFL Season 2. Season 2 heavyweight tournament. Patrick the Big Brick Brady, man. I know there's going to be a lot of local people cheering for you, and give some love out, some shout outs. I mean, I know that, like I said, to get where you're at, you've put the time in and you've been rewarded, so give out some love.
Yeah, so a big, huge shout out to Apollo Brand over there in Sewell, New Jersey on Delsey Drive. Those guys have been great, man. They've been, I can't say enough good things.
Oh, you're driving a vet to the last event. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, they have a great inventory of cars, SUVs, trucks, everything. But more importantly, they're a family-owned business, and they take care of people, and they've really taken care of me, man. They've looked out. They've been able to help me with some expenses getting through this fight, and the general manager's flying out.
Oh man,
Mikey,
that's beautiful.
My boy Mikey Coulter, he's a really good friend of mine. He's going to fly out to the fight, and he's coming out
awesome,
to
man.
the fight.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's been good. And then we got performance meal prep. They've been making sure I'm fueled and ready up and ready to go, and they've been taking care of me with the food, and then Primal Nutrition. our boy Matt Hill over there at Primal.
Another guy, Matt Hill, who deserves some love.
Yeah, Matt Hill for sure. He's always looked out for me at Primal Nutrition Philadelphia. Go in there, all of your supplement needs over there, protein powders, creatines, pre-workouts, everything.
Pre-workouts, yeah, pre-workouts. Amen to pre-workout.
Amen. You know, everything you can think of for your supplements over there at Primal Nutrition. You know, and then Antrim Electric, Greg over at Antrim Electric, and you know, there's a lot of people who take care of me, and I've been very fortunate.
Here we go. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Pat's heading out. This is the end of the week. Next week is heading out.
Yeah,
April 7th. Pat,
71.
man. The journey continues
Yes,
for Patrick
sir.
the Brick Brady, and you know what? We get to watch him on TV live this time and sending out positive vibes. My MMA News has been with
Yeah.
Pat for a long time, and
Yeah.
we're wishing him the best of luck, and he'll get it out in Vegas, champ.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, brother.